I also want to get started this entire conversation with our team of guests joining us. Siddharth Yadav is spokesperson of the BJP with us. Shyam Prasad Mekhaji, senior leader of the Congress. He's also live with us. ML Sharma is a former special director of the CBI. He's also joining us on the show tonight. And Karuna Sagarji, spokesperson of the RJD, is completing our panel. And let's get started with Karuna Sagar. He remembers a part of the entire ruling alliance in Jharkhand. Karuna Sagarji, when you look at what's been happening, people would say that this is an action against corruption. Whether it is Lalu Prasad Yadav, whether it is Tejasvi, whether it is Arvind Kejriwal, or this is Hemant Soren, should you not welcome action against corruption?
Well, Dipti, thank you very much, and give me uninterrupted couple of minutes. It's a very trying time for Indian democracy. The big question is not the alleged corruption of politicians, but the sheer audacious misuse of agencies to make the opposition leaders fall in line. If you join BJP, you are in a state of bliss, whereas if you don't, then you are hauled up on the hot coals. And if you are like Hemant Sharma, if you are like Ajit Pawar, if you are like Praful Patel, if you are like Chhagan Bhujbal, if you are like Narayan Rane, and so many others, then all your sins get washed. So the very list shows that this is not, against corruption. The fight is not against corruption, but to use these agencies to make the opposition leaders fall in line. And those who get scared and join the BJP bandwagon, all their cases are forgotten and agencies never look back at them. Same thing is happening in a state, and again after a state, you have seen the proximity of time when a government changes or a leader takes a stand, and then ED or CBI or income tax follows, and it's happening all across the country, in all the different states. So this cannot be a mere coincidence.
Okay.
So this is
but see,
what is
Karuna Sagarji, if you recall, multiple of these opposition parties, including yours also, I think you went to the Supreme Court. You spoke about this. The Supreme Court found no merit in that argument. But let me still get in Siddharth quickly before I get in Mr. Mekha and ML Sharma ji into the conversation. Siddharth, people say agar select hai to suspect bhi hoga. The point is that you have to remember the fact that there has been hardly any action against any BJP neta. The moment you have netas who make a switch to the BJP, everything is forgotten, Siddharth. So why should the opposition question you? The timing is suspect. Hemant Soren hasn't crumbled under the pressure of the agencies and the BJP, so you're obviously acting against him, Siddharth. Siddharth, you'll have to unmute yourself. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, am I audible now, Deepti?
I can't hear Dipti, I can't hear.
Yes, go on, please.
Yes. Deepti, first of all, I must make it clear that no leader in this country, no political leader, no political party is above the law, is above the constitution of this country, and everybody is subject to the same law, subject to the same norms by which the country is run. When people say that nobody from the NDA or from the ruling party is subject to the same process, I find it false, because that is when they say that people who have been accused or who have been charged by the ED or the CBI are also part of the ruling government. How many of these leaders who are currently subject to such processes by these agencies are actually have been convicted? Very least of them, because we have a legal process that goes on. But what we see otherwise is we have a new argument in this country today. And the new argument is that we are being more subject to such process and they are not being subject to such process, and that makes us not guilty. That doesn't make you not guilty. If you have done nothing, if you have not been
forget
doing
that.
corruption in
No,
your state
Siddharth,
or exploiting your position.
you are obviously wanting to duck that argument, but let me reiterate that very quickly, and I'll just give you another 10 seconds, Siddharth, to answer this. See, the classic case is an Ajit Pawar. Ajit Pawar we know, multiple times the Prime Minister has called him corrupt. But then the next moment when he switches sides and he joins your government, everything is forgotten. And Karuna Sagarji just, named a number of leaders who were a part of the BJP. So the opposition gets an handle because there is selective action only against the opposition. Is that fair, Siddharth?
No, Deepti, I'll complete what I was saying, and I'll also answer your question. Is the case against Mr. Ajit Pawar over? Is the case against any such leader over? No. The process is going on. But how can this argument be justified that we are being subject to something different? We have done nothing. Nobody is saying they have done nothing. They are saying, but since the ruling party is not being subject to such process, we are also guilt-free. You are not guilt-free. If you are the leader, if you are a political party, if you are ruling, and you have looted these people, you have looted the country, you are going to be subject to such processes. And no case against nobody has ended. Is Hemant Soren behind the bars? 10 summons, Deepti, 10 summons. You are not appearing. You think you're above the legal process of this country? Arvind Kejriwal, is he behind the bars? It took 20 years for Lalu Yadav to actually be convicted for Chara Ghotala. For 20 years, he was guilt-free. What after that? But they want that any other leader, if he has joined the NDA, should today only be prosecuted.
Siddharth, which was the last BJP leader that was raided by the Enforcement Directorate? Which was the last BJP leader that was raided by the Enforcement Directorate?
Is Deepti, is this the parameter of making them guilt-free? If BJP is not doing corruption,
no one is guilt-free. There are clearly skeletons in their cupboard, Siddharth, and the opposition will have to deal with that. But the problem is selective. The problem is selective action. That's it.
No,
but Mr. Mecca, why don't you respond to what Siddharth said? And I'll just tell our viewers that what you see on your screens, in fact, are live images that are just coming in right now. This is the entire troop of the JMM MLAs who are en route now to the Raj Bhavan. They will be meeting with the governor at 9, so we'll keep that frame live so that you get a minute-by-minute idea what's going on. But Mr. Mecca, the problem is that if there are skeletons in your cupboard, can you just cry vendetta all the time? So you have to accept the fact that whether it is the Trinamool Congress, whether it is the RJD, whether it is the NCP, whether it is the JMM, there are real issues, there are real problems of corruption.
Dipti, we are not crying over anything. It is very clear for the people of the country to see what is happening in this country. Very simple. So where is the question of we are not crying over anything? Okay, आजा हमको जेल में ले लो, हमको जेल में डाल दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
नहीं तो do you believe corruption, Mr. Mecca, is no issue? No, do you believe corruption is no issue no matter what? People will keep voting for you. Is that what you believe?
No, people were not voting for us, no, Dipti. People were voting for Mr. Narendra Modi.
You won Telangana, you won Karnataka.
No, that is fine. We will see, as a political party, we will win 10 elections, we will lose 10 elections. That's not the point. See, what we are telling the people of the country, what are the issues that we are bringing out to be the issues in the election. That's the point. It's okay. You can do.
But do you, Mr. Mecca, before I get in, Mr. ML Sharma ji, Mr. Mecca, do you support a Hemant Soren, or you believe this is vendetta?
What do you mean? Do you support Hemant Soren? Yes, of course we will support Hemant Soren. He's our
because you are in alliance. You are in alliance with the JMM.
Yeah, of course.
In Jharkhand.
Yeah, of course we are running a government. Of course we will support him. What is the charge? What is the government or the agencies
So what if he is corrupt? We will support him.
No, if he is corrupt, if Mr. Narendra Modi is corrupt, why will anybody support him? We all know how the politics of the country are being run. Where is the question? Why do you want to keep the Congress at the gunpoint? We are doing our politics. Where is the question of supporting anybody?
No, it's not the Congress at the gunpoint. See, you have an alliance with the RJD. You had an alliance with the RJD, sir, when you were ruling Bihar until Nitish Kumar decided to walk out of the alliance. In Jharkhand, you have an alliance with the JMM. Now, there are serious charges of corruption against Hemant Soren. So, either you withdraw support from that government if you say you're fighting against corruption. If you don't, people will say that you support that corruption. No, it's as simple as that. But let me get an ML Sharmaji, and I think there is some bit of activity also that we are learning of. We'll get you updates of what's been happening as far as sources in the Enforcement Directorate are concerned. Do remember Hemant Soren is facing an imminent arrest right now. An arrest is likely, is what sources say. ML Sharmaji, because you're a former special director of the CBI, sir, when you hear what you hear from the opposition, vendetta, selective targeting, we are being haunted, do you believe the agencies here are to be blamed, or the agencies, according to you, are only following the rule of law?
Oh, wow. What is true?
Well,
That is
as
for
far
ML
as
Sharmaji, if he can hear us.
arrests
Yes.
are concerned, there is a legal provision for that. If there is solid evidence against any one person, howsoever big he may be politically or bureaucratically, he may be arrested and charge sheet can be filed against him. Now, corruption has been a very serious problem for this country because it has eaten up the vitals of our governance. It's anti-poor, it's anti-people, it's anti-democracy, and it's anti-development. So therefore, I support the government which takes a very strict action against corrupt elements, regardless of their party affiliations. Now, as far as the present scenario is concerned, whether the government is targeting individuals or political leaders or particular group or particular party, the different party spokesmen have expressed their views. I better not do it, but it's a fact of life that whosoever is in governance, he comes down heavily against people who are not in governance. And when those who govern today become the opposition party, then they are targeted. It's unfortunate, but it is true picture of Indian polity. I would say only this much.